Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is 4 days to Disney, which means we should be packing. At this point we should be packing. We should definitely be packing. But we're going to do a quick video today on frequently asked questions. Now this isn't frequently asked questions about Disney, like how to use Genie Plus, which park to go to first, Disney tips, that kind of thing. What we wanted to answer today were some of the frequently asked questions that we've had over the years whenever someone finds out that we go to the Disney parks often, that we go to Florida a lot. We get the same questions time and time again from colleagues, friends, family, from strangers who just happen to be part of the conversation. And we thought it would be quite good fun to try and answer some of those questions. I've also gone out to my Instagram friends and asked if there's anything they would like us to answer in this video. So we've got a couple of questions in from Instagram that we'll also try and answer in today's video as well. So this is what we're doing instead of packing, which means we'll be packing until midnight tonight. So we're going to dive right in to the first frequently asked question.
I am indeed an adult who goes to Disney.
This is a new question. It's only come up in the last few years, I think.
It's not really a question that makes sense to me. So, yes, it makes sense in the way that are you an adult who goes to Disney, but for some people it means a whole lot of other things. But to me, it just means I'm an adult going to Disney.
Yeah, so the people who've asked me that question, that's not what they mean. They don't mean, are you an adult who goes to Disney? Disney adult's one of those phrases that have popped up on the internet in the last few years, just the same as all the other phrases that pop up, which is just a way to beat somebody up on the internet, and it's thrown about like an insult. I will never ever take it as an insult. So yes, I am a Disney adult. I have my Disney jumpers, I have my Disney t-shirts, my Disney jewellery, I have Mickey Mouse on the wall just over the shoulder behind there. But yes, we are Disney adults.
Yes, we are.
I would say. I'm not sure what that means to everyone who asks the question. I know it's not always asked in a positive light, but
so be it.
Yes, we are Disney adults. So for me, this trip that we're going on in 4 days' time will be my 9th visit. So our 9th visit together. How many times have you been before that?
This will be my 10th, so I was there once when I was younger, and I would like a Disney lanyard, thank you. It's not going to happen, but
for your 10-year milestone.
For my 10-year milestone, yes.
That's an idea that we should pitch to Disney, a 10-year milestone.
Yeah.
So we went together for the first time for our honeymoon, and that was my first time going to America at all. I was really excited to see America. I did not believe that I would enjoy Disney.
Yes.
I did not believe I would enjoy it. It wasn't that I didn't like the Disney brand. I grew up with Disney movies. Disney has been a huge part of my life as an elder millennial. But I didn't think Disney parks would be for me. I expected to really be into Universal. I did not expect. I remember making a comment as we flew out saying I'm not going to be one of those people who takes 1,000 pictures of the castle. That proved to be true. I did not take 1,000 pictures of the castle. I took 3,000 pictures of the castle. So I was correct that I was not one of those people. But yeah, I did not expect to be so completely taken over by Disney in that first trip.
I did warn you.
Yeah, Ross did warn me. So that first trip we stayed off-site in Lake Buena Vista.
Yes. And
ever since then we have been staying on-site in the Disney bubble, with our first visit to the Port Orleans Riverside, which is where we consider our home resort and where we are returning to in 4 days' time. 4 days' time. So, why do we go so often? Why do we go so often? I always think when people ask that, the obvious answer is because we want to, and because we love it, and because we can, which makes me feel like that's not the question that's being asked. The question that's being asked is probably why do we love it so much? Why do we want to go all the time? And for me, it's a very specific type of holiday. It's something that I keep returning to time and time again because I know that I'm going to have an amazing time. I know that I'm going to have fun and that everything's going to be bright and colourful and happy and we're going to have an amazing time. And it's so odd to be asked, why would you want to do that again? Because it's fun. It's fun.
It's like, why would you want to be happy? Because you want to be happy.
Yeah, and I do get the argument, which is kind of linked to the next frequently asked question, but I do get where people are going, why do you want to go out and explore the rest of the world? And of course we do, and we do go out and explore other places, but we do return a lot to Walt Disney World because it offers us something that we can't find anywhere else. We know we are going to love going to the parks, we're going to love going on all the roller coasters, we're going to love... There's not many places you can ride through a boat in a greenhouse and still be having fun. It's not a thing that sounds like fun when you say it out loud like that, but it is. So it's just a really special place, and there's something really good about the energy. Now, if you've watched the previous vlogs, you'll know that energy is not there all the time. Sometimes it's a madhouse and it's stressful, but there is something at the end of the night when everybody's watching the fireworks together and the fireworks are all lighting up the sky and everybody's having that same experience, and you just feel that settle over the crowd, and that's something you just can't replicate in a lot of other different types of holidays. So yeah, in summary, because it's fun, that's why we go so often.
Yes.
Yes,
all the time.
I just like going on holiday, so I'm always thinking about going on holiday. I'm always thinking about where we could go on holiday.
About planning
holidays, how often we can go on holiday, and they're not all Disney World trips. Where's on your current bucket list to go?
I would say Venice is number one.
Venice is really high up in my list too.
I want to go to Amsterdam. I would also actually really like to go to Finland.
Okay. And for me, I have a few different American cities on my list. New Orleans is fairly high up my list at the moment.
Yes.
I would like to return to Boston. We have been to Boston a couple of times. I would like to get back to a game at Fenway Park. And I would like to see San Francisco. Venice is on my list as well. Amsterdam's on my list as well. A few places in Norway are on my list. I also have this idea that I would one day, with enough funds to be able to do this, like to do what I refer to as the Epcot World Tour, which is just, as it sounds, visiting every country that has an Epcot pavilion in that order, because I think that would be hilarious.
I think it would be.
And very exciting to be able to do that.
And you'd try all the drinks from the countries as well.
Yeah, but I don't think any of them would match the Mighty Fiesta Margarita.
No,
I don't think
so.
it would.
I don't think so.
It definitely wouldn't. So yeah, there's lots and lots of places. Obviously there's only so much paid vacation time in the world. There's only so much resources in terms of money for vacations. So we've got lots of different places on the list, and we do want to travel a lot wider, travel a lot more. But in this post-pandemic world, we just wanted a couple of times going back to Disney World and coming back home, as it says on my sweatshirt. It feels good to be home. No, it's not.
Wouldn't know. Because don't have kids.
Well, yeah, I mean, for us, no, it's not weird going without kids. It would be weird for us to go with kids because we don't have any, so that in itself would raise eyebrows, I think, if we suddenly had a couple of kids in tow. So yeah, it's not weird for us going without kids, but it is probably the most frequent question I get.
Yeah, we have offered to take my niece before.
Yes, we have.
And we will convince my sister to actually let us go.
This question for me mostly comes from people who have never been in a Disney theme park. They're not theme park people at all, so you wouldn't find them in the Blackpool Pleasure Beach, you wouldn't find them at Universal Studios, you wouldn't find them in any theme park. So for them it's probably more of a general, why would you go to a theme park without children? I do get the question every so often from Disney people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it a few times from Disney people. Is that not weird going without kids? It's sometimes more angled towards, are you not weird going without kids? Maybe, I don't know, but all I will say is when I am strolling around World Showcase with the Mighty Fiesta Margarita in my hand, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about being there without kids. Again, it goes back to why we go so often. It's a place for everyone. Everyone's welcome. Everyone is having a great time there, whether they have a family of 7 kids, whether it's 2 adults coming just as a couple, whether it's a group of friends, whether it's somebody there by themselves on a solo adventure. Nobody's made to feel out of place. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's having a great time. So for me, no, it's not weird. I've never felt weird.
I've never felt weird. I've never even considered thinking about that.
No. Interestingly, on a popular Disney forum that I am a member of, there was a question about, is an adult allowed to ride Dumbo? And I did laugh out loud at that. I thought, allowed? Can you imagine them trying to stop us riding Dumbo? But yeah, there are some probably misunderstandings about what you can and can't do at Disney, but yeah, definitely not weird for us to go without kids. Character interactions is probably the only time I felt a little bit awkward, but I don't know that I could honestly say that it's because...
I don't think it's because I don't have kids. I think it's just, for me, I'm socially awkward at times anyway, so it's not a case of because I don't have kids, it's just because I never know how to interact with the characters.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I am socially awkward all the time, so it's primarily based on that. I will say this, it is the only time in Disney I've caught other people looking and maybe occasionally whispering about adults in line. It's the only occasion where I've heard other adults without children mention that it's been commented on or they've had some looks. And again, if you want to meet the characters, if you're an adult without kids, go meet the characters. Yeah, it's fun. Have fun. There's nothing to stop you. Don't let anybody else make you feel weird about it. I will always feel weird about it because I don't know what to say. And I'm terrible at interacting with characters, and I'm terrible at posing for pictures. So it's always like a really stiff, like, hi. And it never looks the way it does in my head. So I'm semi-retired from meeting characters at Disney. Not because I don't find it magical, I do, but the pictures at the end are just going to sit here and think on that for a moment.
Your Gaston look.
My Gaston look. Gaston was one of my only decent photos. You'll notice that's not a question, but it's often presented like a question. Now, I don't know if you've ever had this, but I get this all the time. I don't get that. This is something I get all the time from a lot of different people, and that's how it's presented as a statement, but it's a question. They wait for a response to that. They wait for me to say something, and I'm never sure what someone's looking for me to say. All I would say is think about it this way. Disney, even in its most budget-friendly option, is an expensive holiday. I promise everyone I would not do this if I thought for a second that I was going to be bored. I would not spend months and months saving. I certainly wouldn't entertain the Magic Kingdom hub right before fireworks if I thought for 1 minute that I was going to find it boring. I think it's just, sometimes there's different perspectives with things like this. You could ask the same question of anybody. Like, I've known people who go to Tenerife every year on holiday, and not only would I not think to say to them, don't you get bored, it wouldn't occur to me that they would be, because I would expect that what's happening there in Tenerife or Lanzarote or Benidorm or wherever anybody goes on holiday every year, it's for the same reason that we go to Disney so often. We've never had the same experience twice a year. We'll go on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad 5-6 times in a day before Genie Plus. But you go on the same rides, you very often eat the same snacks, but every experience is different. I think the main thing for me is this. I could go to the Magic Kingdom on a Monday, I could then go back on the Tuesday and I could ride the same rides in the same order, I could eat in the same restaurants, I could eat the same things in the same restaurant and have a very different experience than I had the day before. I don't know how you feel about this, but my experience isn't made by those individual things on their own. It's made up by the people that you meet in line, the people that you talk to, the different cast members that you interact with, the people that you observe in the queues, and and all those different experiences throughout the course of the day, and they all add up to a completely different experience every single time for me. And that's, again, it's why we go. It's why we go so often.
Yeah, and as I said, this was my 10th visit and not done everything. There's things we're doing new this year, such as the balloon. There's many restaurants we've not eaten in. Some we won't on purpose, but only because we don't fancy the food. But yeah, there's always something new, something different, and you never know, I might actually go meet a character this year. Probably not.
In Tron Legacy.
Oh yes, in Tron
Well,
Legacy.
it's not Tron Legacy, it's Tron Light Cycle Run. That will be new this year. Finally. Finally. I don't know what personality I'll have after I've been on Tron Light Cycle Run. Like 97% of my personality in the last 5 to 6 years has been waiting for Tron to open. And once I've been on it, I don't really know what I'll become as a person after Tron is open. So we'll just mull on that for a moment also. I get this question all the time. Pizza Rizzo. Pizza Rizzo is the answer. It's the only answer. Moving on. So those are our main frequently asked questions. Again, just things that people have asked us over the years. More so trying to understand why a couple of now middle-aged adults want to spend their time in Disney theme parks.
Unfortunately, middle-aged.
I'll be 27 years old for the rest of my life, let's be honest. So we are now going to answer a couple of questions that have come in on Instagram. So thanks to people who have submitted these.
We do it all ourselves. We book through the Disney website. We, to be honest, you troll through the Disney website looking for the best price at the best time. I would say on a daily basis, probably.
That's fair. That's a fair thing. Yeah, it's a hobby of mine just to look up prices of Disney holidays, whether I'm planning on going one or not, which is actually how a couple of our trips have been booked, because I just happened to stumble upon a really, really good price. It's also how we've stayed in a few of the deluxe resorts. Usually they would be very, very out of our price range, but the stay at the Poly was a really good deal.
It was.
And the stay at the beach club that we had a few years ago, that wasn't a planned trip. I just happened to stumble across a really, really great price for that because I was looking up prices for fun, for something to do one day. But yeah, we generally do it all ourselves. The first couple of trips, I would say, were more of a package. One package through Virgin as a travel agency. Another one I've done a package trip with British Airways where they've booked the hotel for us. For the last so many years, we've never found it to be cheaper going through a travel agent. Or I don't know that that's fair to say. I haven't had any quotes from travel agents or anything like that. It's more the ease and the convenience for me. I prefer to do it all myself. I prefer to just have everything all at my fingertips and be able to make any changes and do anything that I want, doing it in the DIY style. And I think that comes from the hurricane experience a little bit as well. We were booked to go to Disney World. That would have been 2016, Hurricane Irma.
Yes.
And that was a hugely disruptive travel experience, obviously a horrific experience for everyone who was there and everyone who lives in Florida.
I spent hours on phone calls that year.
Yeah, but just purely from a travel perspective and that very specific experience, I think what I took from that is, yeah, it was hours on the phone sorting it out, but it was very easy to do apart from the wait times.
Yeah.
It was, the airline was very accommodating, Disney were fabulous, very accommodating, moving us hotels, different things like that. And it was very, very easy to do, but I felt completely in control of the situation because everything was booked by us. We didn't have to then kind of try and get hold of a travel agent or anything like that. I think I would probably consider a travel agent for other types of trips, especially if it was something that I was less familiar with and something that I maybe wanted a bit more expertise on. I would reach out to a travel agent at that time. I'm also not immune to walking past a travel agent window and seeing Canada trips and other bucket list trips in their window.
You do like to window shop there.
I do like to window shop outside a travel agent. I don't know if that in any way answered that question, but largely DIY is the short version of that.
This changes yearly. We have our favourite park for each holiday, but I also have a favourite park just overall. Overall, for me, it is Epcot. So I like a good stroll round the World Showcase Lagoon, evenings, day, or mornings, whenever. It's just good to stroll round.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've got two favourites. One is always the trip favourite, and that always emerges as something different on every trip. And every one of the parks has taken that place at some point on each trip. They've come back and said that was the MVP of theme parks on that trip. And then there's our general favourite. I struggle to answer this question. On one hand, it's Animal Kingdom for me, and that's because it has my three most beloved rides there: Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest, and my beloved dinosaur ride. So all of those are at home in Animal Kingdom, which really pushes that into the top spot anyway. But it's also the most immersive park, it's the most beautiful park. The one thing that will always, always break my heart is hearing people say it's a half-day park, there's nothing to do.
We've been in queues before where people have got to 11:30 and went, okay, I'm done for the day.
Yeah, I've done everything today.
You've only been
You've
been in one queue and that's it.
Yeah, have you done everything at Animal Kingdom today? But yeah, it's a very special park. It's the most immersive of, as I think I said there. It's just a very different experience to the others. They're all unique experiences, but I do love Animal Kingdom. But I would agree, Epcot is very, very special as well in terms of the variety of things available at Epcot. Of course, you've got your roller coasters, your thrill rides. I'm saying that like there's thousands of them. You have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is what I'm saying there, and obviously a variety of the dark rides. It has Living with the Land. That's pretty special.
Yes.
And Spaceship Earth, but also the ability to walk round World Showcase and experience those pavilions, and just the opportunities to find a space in the park that somehow manages to seem quiet. It's just such a beautiful park. I think the only thing that pushes it into a very, very close second position is because Illuminations is no longer with us. If Illuminations was still playing at Epcot, I think that would take the top spot. So I'm going to go Animal Kingdom for my current favourite park.
Okay.
The one thing I think we both agree on is our least favourite park. It's Magic Kingdom, isn't it?
Unfortunately it's become too crowded and
It's
too
hard
heated.
work. It's hard, yeah. It's very, very hard work. I've not mastered any kind of Genie Plus strategy that helps manage the crowds for me at Magic Kingdom yet, but we are trying to reclaim that this year. This year we are once again starting at Magic Kingdom, which is something we've not done for a while, and I'm hoping by being there really early in the trip we will recapture some of that magic, because the last few times I have gone out and thought it's defeated me, and it's not the park. I love the park, I love the rides, I love the castle. It's the iconic Walt Disney World park. It's just a whole mood of it, in and of itself. It's a whole mood. So yeah, that's come out routinely in the last few years as our least favourite park.
The other reason why Epcot's my favourite is every time you go, it's a different festival that's on.
Yeah. I do like your festival. Question was from Blue Skies and Butterbeer, who also has a fabulous YouTube channel, terrific Disney and Universal vlogs, and I also can't wait to start watching her Dubai vlog series, which will be on in the background as I am packing later. She's going to keep me company while I pack my suitcases, so I'm very excited to watch that.
For me, it's the scenery. You can go a couple of feet, it's just towns, your centres, take 20 minutes out. It's mountains, it's seas, it's rivers. It's like no matter where you go, you can always find somewhere that is really, really nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that's a different answer, but my answer to that is also scenery. If you've seen the Exploring Scotland vlogs, you know I do love a bit of scenery. But yeah, it's how dramatic our scenery is for me. And I think that really came to light not during lockdown, but just after lockdown, so we could travel within the country, but we still couldn't travel internationally. And one of the first things we did was book the West Highland Railway journey, which takes us from Glasgow Central all the way up to Mallaig, and it goes through a lot of the Highland scenery, and just the dramatic changes in the landscapes was something that really recharged my soul. And that's why I tend to go on a lot of these day trips, because I do feel just really, it sounds really cliche, but I do feel really rejuvenated being able to look at the different scenery, and just how quickly it can change from one thing to another, and the variety of colours as well. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about that, but we're typically a very green and grey colour scale, but
our purple mountains.
we like pops of purple here and there, and I think it's a really nice colour palette we have here in Scotland. I don't think I mentioned it earlier, our first question was from Budding Adventures, and she also has a podcast all about travel. I cannot recommend this podcast highly enough. The number of times she has made me laugh out loud on the bus to work in the morning, which is no mean feat. It is no mean feat to get me to laugh on the way to work, but she genuinely has me rolling on the bus in the morning. I can
confirm this.
So yeah, check out Budding Adventures, Budding Travel podcast. Do we?
I don't think we do.
I don't think we do now. We did when we first started going. We almost kind of consciously built some when we first started going, and the main one was we always started at the Magic Kingdom. Our first ride was always Pirates, so always start at the Magic Kingdom, always go left, go into Adventureland. Pirates of the Caribbean was always the first ride that we went on.
For years, it used to be we always had to go to Casey's at least once, but we've not done that the last few years.
Yeah, the last few trips have broken away from a lot of those traditions, and I don't even know what. I don't think that was anything conscious. I think one day we just decided we would start at Animal Kingdom, and probably more to do with like Magic Kingdom party schedules and things like that. So we fell away from that tradition, and ever since then we haven't had really any traditions that are similar to that. All of mine, and again, thank you for this question, because we spent ages in the car earlier trying to work out the answer to this, but all of the ones that remain intact are food and beverage related for me.
Yes.
Because every time I go, I'm going to get a Fiesta Margarita. I don't think I've ever missed a Fiesta Margarita. Every time we go, we always find our way to Columbia Harbour House.
Yeah.
And to Pinocchio Village House as well. And interestingly, those are the ones, it's not a conscious tradition, but we always sit upstairs at certain areas within those restaurants. We always eat at Sutuli Canteen.
Cheeseburger pods.
And not because it's necessarily tradition, it's just because it's good food. And we always eat at Pizza Rizzo. Again, another one, we always sit upstairs on the left-hand side.
Looking out over the courtyard.
Because it's the best pizza at Disney. So that's all the questions that we got through Instagram. If you do have anything that you would like to ask us, whether it's about Disney trips, whether it's about any travel plans coming up, any future Disney trips coming up, then drop those in the comments and we'll do our best to answer those. The only other frequently asked question that I purposefully left to the end, I forgot to answer it earlier. No, we'll say I purposefully left it to the end, is when is the next holiday? We've more or less already answered that. It's in 4 days' time. In 4 days' time, we go to Walt Disney World. We're going for 14 days. We're staying at Port Orleans Riverside. All 4 Disney parks, multiple times. And we should have the vlog series coming up on the channel just in 2 weeks' time. Either 1 week or 2 weeks, depending on when this video goes live. So thank you so much for watching.
Good, thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and to check out all the new content that we've got coming up. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now my wheels